Alright, over the course of this video, I will be talking about the Pacific Plate. I chose it as my favorite plate because it is the first one I saw on the map. That is about it for that. So, we're going to start the video right off now. The Pacific Plate is almost entirely oceanic crust, but it contains some continental crust in New Zealand, Baja California, and coastal California. Same thing, yeah. My plate is touched by the Antarctic, Australian, Filipino, North American Cocos, Juan de Fuca, and Nazca plates. So divergent, we're going over motion now, like motion between the plates. Divergent motion happens between my plate and the Antarctic plate. Convergent motion is between it and the Australian plate, as well as the Filipino plate. There's a transform boundary between the Pacific and North American plates, and apparently a divergent boundary between the Pacific and Cocos plates. There is a transform fault between the Pacific and the Juan de Fuca plates, and a divergent boundary between the Pacific and the Nazca plates. So the Pacific plate moves around. I forgot. Wrote a little map here. My printer wasn't working, so I couldn't print anything out. But let's take a look here. Yeah, so Pacific Plate, we're talking about this big guy right here. Okay, that's my favorite. He moves about 7 centimeters a year. The Antarctic Plate, this big old guy down here, he's moving around 1 centimeter a year, so he's pretty slow. Australian Plate moves around 2.7 inches per year, so he's pretty fast. He's like a speedy little guy over there. Filipino Plate, the guy sandwiched right in the middle, right over here. He's moving 6 to 11 centimeters per year. We're going to skedaddle on over to the Great White North. North American Plate moves around an inch a year. So, not necessarily fast or slow, just kind of in between there. The Cocos Plate. Where is he? Cocos Plate. Pacific. Cocos. This little guy right here. Little tiny plate. So, right off the coast of Mexico. Let's see how much I write down that he moves. Yeah, okay. Cocos Plate moves around roughly 3 inches a year. That's a fast little guy there. The Juan de Fuca Plate, this little guy, which is apparently a remnant of a once larger plate that sank beneath the rest of them, moves an inch a year, just an inch a year. And the Nazca Plate, he is right down here. You guys can see the Nazca Plate moves around 3 inches a year. Alright, so we know that the plates are moving because we can observe it with our eyes in the form of volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and actual fault lines and stuff. I was reading that apparently Iceland is a really good place to observe plates moving and all that stuff. It's got a whole bunch of boundaries just going right over it, and they can observe volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, all that stuff happening a lot over there. It's a very volcanic place, apparently. So anyway, different boundaries will be accompanied by different characteristics. So on convergent boundaries, it's like that you'd find stuff like say like the Marianas Trench. You'd find deep trenches, really deep trenches. Marianas Trench, deepest trench in the world, deepest point on the world. You'd find volcanoes, islands, and a lot of earthquakes are going to be occurring. Along transform boundaries, earthquakes are also going to be quite common. Along divergent boundaries, so that's where new crust is going to be rising up. Earth, let's see, where's the place where I can talk? I can't remember. Where's the divergent boundary? Let me find. Okay, so between the Pacific and the Cocos plates, right here. So there are going to be earthquakes, a lot of them, but they're going to be a lot less devastating, and there's going to be undersea mountain ranges forming around there by the divergent plates, and so they're pulling apart like this. You got new stuff rising up in between there. But yep. So that was my presentation for this week. Yeah, sorry about the map there. Can't really print it off right now, but I did a good job writing it. Come on, it's a skill right there. Topography skills or whatever. I can't remember what that is. Map making stuff. But yeah, I had a good week. Learned about plates. Enjoyed it. So, all right. Hasta la vista. Goodbye. It's been fun.